Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Forget About It Fridays Unfiltered. I'm your host, Paul Italia, and tonight we got a stacked show lined up. First things first, I got to bring in my guy, my co host, the legend himself, Mr. Kevin Hess, author,
What's up, team?
junk removal OG, and the man who somehow finds time to write three books while running a business. Kevin, what is going on, brother?
Not too much, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Hell yeah, man. So it's been a wild week on my end over here, man. We've been just running around doing these full trucks for food loads. It's really
I love
taken
it.
off, recording a lot of content, conquering our goals. So I just wanted to report back to everybody. We've completed 5 full loads completed towards full trucks for food. So SF Marin Food Banks got 5 loads coming to them, and we set a
Nice.
goal of 20 total before December 19th. So we're plugging away over here, guys. So
Nice.
Kevin, what's going on your side, man? What's been going on? Any new projects? Any new craziness in the junk world that I need to catch up on?
I had no new projects. I got a trip planned up to New York here next month, or not next month, in beginning of January. Going to help a junk team up there, train their team. I had a cool today. I got invited to get coffee by one of my local competitors. He just wanted
Wow.
to meet up, shoot the shit, talk about, just go talking about just the area and just the things that he's working on, the project. He's doing a lot of good stuff for the community too. He does a lot of good youth basketball programs and stuff like that. So we just shot the shit for a while. So it was pretty cool just collaborating with him.
That's pretty amazing, man. When you know the competition is calling you up, man, you're doing something right over there, bro, for sure. And I
Yeah.
want to
So
hear a little about New York, man. What do you got going on over there? We're doing some coaching, helping out a team over
yeah,
there.
I'm gonna go and got a full day training for a truck team up there, and we're gonna help them level up.
Very nice, very nice. And I just want to catch everybody up that's maybe not in the junk industry because I know we got a lot of my BNI chapter in here. And I just want to let you guys, he's a coach. He helps a lot of businesses out. He's a junk industry guru. I know he doesn't like to be called that, but he truly is an expert when it comes to anything customer service. He's helped a lot of the big franchises, develop their customer service programming and all. And he's helping a lot of guys in the junk industry, including myself. He is definitely one of my big time mentors and the guy that I always call for perspective. So got to thank you for Kevin, everything that you do in the industry. We really appreciate it, brother.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
All right, all right. So enough of us talking shop. We've got a special guest on tonight, someone who actually helps people make sense of something more confusing than a junk-filled garage. Tonight we're bringing in Mirela Weems, a true Medicare expert who helps seniors navigate the maze. She's got an incredible story, tons of knowledge, and she's going to break it down in a way everyone can understand. Let's bring her in. Mirela, come on the show. How are you tonight?
Hey, good afternoon or good night. It's look dark outside already, and even it's only 6 o'clock. But here we are, and I'm very happy to share, this platform with you, brother Paul and Kevin. Is a pleasure, to be here and be with two amazing people, and we can share, what I know about Medicare and try to clear up, all the confusion.
All right. Well,
Very nice.
before we dive into Medicare, I got to ask you, who were you before all this? What's your backstory?
Oh my goodness. I want to try to do it short. I born in El Salvador, it's a Central America. I moved to this country when I was 19 years old. The first time I came, I was 19. And I stayed here only for 1 week because I came to sign, for my papers with my dad and my brother. And I went back to my country because I was going to the nursing school up there, and I didn't want to like leave that because I was almost finished. And I went back and finished my nursing school. And one day after graduation in 1993, I came back to United States with just one carry on and to start, a dream to be in United States. And I was just, a 20-year-old excited to come here and start, a new life. And, but things they don't go the way you plan it, but that's okay. You take other routes. And so in my mind, I was like, oh, I want to be a nurse in the United States. I want to working in a hospital and helping people and, all those dreams, because I am a person I like to dream. But long story short, I couldn't work in the medical field because you had to start over.
Ah, and I think we've heard a similar story like that, Kevin, with our friend Xavier. Wasn't he kind of
Yeah.
similar story? Can you share a little of
He
that?
he was a chemical engineer in Venezuela, and he had a lot of stuff happen. He was kidnapped and things like that. But when he came to this country, he had to start over. I have an uncle. It's the same thing. He was a very very famous doctor in Colombia. And when he came here, he had to start over, do the whole medical school all over again, internship and everything. So
That's got to be really like just stressful and kind of scary because you went to school, you did all this school in Morella, and then you come in the United States with a whole plan and goals, and then all of a sudden you're kind of sidetracked. So kind of tell us about like how are you like handling all that at this time?
So I'm very positive person. I always like to see what is coming after it. So when I went to the College of Marine to try to see what was for me, and they said to me I had to start over. But in that time, my life took another turn, and I couldn't go to school. So I started working at Whole Food Market in Mill Valley store as a produce clerk. That was in 1994. So I stay in Whole Foods for 18 years. I became a produce team leader and produce department. I opened the Whole Food Market Town store. I don't know if you guys know the store.
Yeah.
So I opened a store as a produce manager, and I stayed there as a produce manager for 9 years. So it was took me like a little bit time, because when I started Whole Food, I speak zero English. When I
Uh,
came here, I didn't speak any English. So I start from the bottom, but I always want to do good and do better. I went to school at night, to learn English. And night in 2005, 2001, I had my first boy. And I was having two jobs, Whole Foods, 5 in the morning to 1:30, and then I was cleaning houses for 2 to 6. And then 2 days a week, I was going to school, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it took me a little bit long time to finish, the English as second language at college, but I finished. And here I am, with a different career, and I've been working as a medical interpreter, helping the Spanish community as well. I don't work as a nurse, but I have a lot of knowledge, and I believe things you learn stay with you, and even if you don't practice, but I practice with my heart.
nice. Was
Yes.
there a moment or an experience that pushed you into the Medicare world?
Actually, I was working as when I managed the department at Whole Food Market, I was very good in sales, and I always liked numbers. I wasn't good, in history, but I always good with numbers. So after, I left Whole Food, I became a sales manager for a company. They were making kombucha in Peraluma. I worked there for 4 years as a sales manager, and I was helping the company to grow a lot because I'm a very good salesperson. I feel like I had a way to talk to people, and so I always like dreamed to have my own business. And I was like, I'm making so much money, for another person. So I want to know, what it is to do it for myself. And long story short, I have a friend at church. She was doing the Medicare for years, and she says, Sylvia, I want you come, to experience this. You speak two language, and I know you have a lot of compassion, and you want to be really good with this. And I couldn't do it at that time when she asked me like 10 years ago, but recently, like 4 years ago, I was able to take the license, and here I am, helping the community. I love to help the community, and that's why I feel like very connecting with you guys. What you're doing with the food bank. On Sundays, I go to flea markets, Sebastopol, and I put my educational booth up there, like no cost information, because it's a lot of need. It's so much confusion. Just imagine it if it's really hard for people who speak the language here. Just imagine it for the Spanish community. It's just, it's like,
Double as hard. Yeah, yeah. And then to find somebody that could break it down and explain it all and make it all
Yeah.
make sense, it takes a special person. So I think
Yeah.
that's your calling right there, Mirela.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
believe that.
I mean, obviously you didn't picture yourself, this wasn't the dream, but um, it was a good transition going from wanting to be a nurse into, at least being part of the medical field. What's one part of that journey that most people just wouldn't expect?
Yes, it's true. You know what? But I want to just share this very quick. I have two amazing kids, Andres and Diego, 24 and 23. And in June, I experienced something so amazing. My younger son, Diego, he graduated from Loma Linda University as a bachelor's in RN. So I was like in that graduation, and when he was walking, when his graduation outfit, I felt it was me doing it through him. And he put, the girl in me. He said, "Mom, this is your graduation too." I don't want to get emotional, but I, I feel like I'm doing it because my
Yeah.
son is doing it for me. And he offered to me, and I said, "Mom, now I had a job. If you're going to go to school and be a nurse here, I want to pay the school for you." And I said, "I think it's not late because I don't believe things. I'm 51 now." And I say, "It's not late, but I feel like what I'm doing now is what God want me to be, to be like the GPS." That's what I call my seniors. I am your GPS and helping you to navigate. If we get lost, we get lost together. If we find a way together.
I
Yeah.
love that. That's a good
I
one. Be
I
your
can definitely
GPS.
yeah, and I can definitely relate to feeling that pride, watching your son do something like that. I felt the same way during my son's graduation from the fire academy when he
Wow.
became a firefighter. So it was a really proud moment.
It's something so special you can't describe. It's just, and my other son, Andres, he is going to finish in June. Also, he's going to be RN.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So there's
There
your
you
dream
go.
right there. I love it.
It's just, God is good, and God knew I have the dream in my heart. And I married an amazing person. His name is Brian, 3 years ago, and he's at RN, a Memorial Hospital too. So it's
Wow.
just, yeah, things happen in life. I never thought when I married Brian, I know him for a while, but things happen for a reason, and I believe in that.
I truly believe in
Right.
that as well. When you first started, what surprised you the most about the Medicare industry?
Surprised me is how confused it is, how like misinformation um, make it like little complicated, because people, they don't know like important things. For example, when you turn 65 and you qualify to apply for Medicare, and Medicare is a federal insurance, and it has two parts, A and B. Part A cover hospital, part B cover medical. But a lot of people, they don't know they have to add other parts of that. For example, A and B doesn't cover medications. It doesn't cover dental. It doesn't cover your eyes. So a lot of seniors, they're 65, they're very healthy, and they don't take medication. So they don't see the need to add Part D, and then if they don't know and don't add Part D, guess what? So,
They're gonna get a bad surprise in the future when they really don't expect it.
now, not in the future. Social Security give you incentive, and guess what is the incentive they give to people?
Ah, okay. So you're gonna get penalized and yep.
Yes,
Wow.
you get.
And they do that on purpose? Like that's, kind of do you believe they do that on purpose? Why is it all
Uh,
confusing? Is there a reason behind it?
and no, I don't think it's on purpose. But the thing is, when when you become a senior, and just imagine it, the transition to stop working and retire. So it's something like it's a big change in your life, and sometimes you don't put attention with the little details because Social Security, they let you know you have to have A, B, C, and D, but sometimes you don't read the letters they sent, or you don't understand what it is, and that's why I believe it's very important, to give the information and ask the people who know the right information, because sometimes people just ask the friends, and they just misleading, with the information. So that's why I believe, I always do like no cost workshops and gyms and flea market, farmers market, because I really want to reach the community and be the person, who live and making sure, nobody's gonna have a penalty, because that penalty stay for your whole life.
Oh my
And
God. Well, let me
I,
ask you, Marilla, where are you finding, the best place to educate people?
the best place to educate people,
Yeah.
I think everywhere, even in grocery store, I'm very friendly person. I talk to anyone. My husband said, it's amazing you can talk to anybody, like little kids, like, young people, seniors, and anywhere, I feel like anywhere is an opportunity, to talk to people, but I feel like to make things available, like in farmers market, where people go and it's more relaxed, they're not stressed out, and all those places, I think, is a good places to go. And now more, now I know networking more a business, I've been connecting with more people like you guys, have the opportunity to be here in this channel, and I've been making connections at the YMCA, the gym, I'm connecting with the is the healthy living coordinator. I'm learning now how to connect with people and make it like offer, not cost workshops, and that, like yesterday, I went to the Sonoma community clinic. They had an event outside, and it's another area, I went, and a lot of Spanish community came, and Spanish community, they're very loyalty. They're so happy, to find like an agent who speaks Spanish, because that's another thing. It's not that many agents who speak Spanish in the area, and so
And there's not many people, Morella, that would care like you do. That is one of the strengths that I really see in you is your compassion. And I also see an extreme entrepreneur drive behind you. You've got an energy, and I see it in myself, and I'm really seeing it strong in you. And you just kind of reminded me when you said, like, you talk to everybody everywhere. And that's kind of like me. There's not a person that's going to pass me that I'm not going to get into a conversation, and whatever I'm in at that time of my life, that's what we're going to be conversating about. And I could see that with you, because you want to help out everybody. So you're going up, you're setting up your help booth, and you're showing people. And I really rarely see that these days. And then to also be able to communicate in Spanish so well and help out these people that probably are totally lost and confused and don't have anybody to break it down. And you're doing a great thing, and I commend you for that. That is a really great thing you're offering. And I mean, you could just feel the passion in you. You just want to help out people so bad in life. I really commend that. I like that.
thank you, Paul. And and
yeah.
I feel that way because I know we have to make a living, and I make money. But I tell you this with all my heart. My goal and my priority is to help people, because I've been having so many like people call me, like 90-year-old lady, call me like yesterday, break my heart. Sometimes I feel like I want to be like organization, how to help people. They don't have anyone in the house to bring. Like today, I brought soup for a lady who I met a week ago. I wrote a plan, and she has problem with her hip. She can cook, and I brought soup for her. I my thing is to make it like personalized. I care about it, because you know people is tired to hear about sales, sales, sales. Buy me this plan, you need this. People is tired with that. I think the society, what they need is to have like someone who really like is transparent, and care about it. And
Mhm.
especially health insurance, Paul and Kevin, just imagine it, to have an agent who sign you with a plan is not going to be working for you. It's just break my heart when somebody told me, oh, somebody called me from other state and they signed me this, but my doctors are not here. I cannot see any doctor with this. It's like break my heart. It's like how you can do that, to
Yeah.
'Cause they don't care, they're just there for the
Yeah.
paycheck. That's
Yeah.
the thing, you actually care, and that's what separates you from, I would say probably the majority of people that are just chasing the money and all that. But I gotta ask you this, what is the craziest or most memorable client experience you've had? I know you just told me about this week, but is there anybody that really sticks out that, was a real special client for you?
Yes, it is. And I helped this client in Windsor, and she's like an amazing sweet lady, and when I go to their houses too, because a lot of people, they don't drive, they don't have anybody to drive, so I go to their houses. I just go, and I remember, last year she called me and she was like so sad because she was paying like over $400 for the supplement insurance, and she's like, this is really hard for me, I don't know what to do, this is really hard to living. And I went to her house and I stayed for hours. That's the other thing. Sometimes, I feel like, oh my gosh, I spend a lot of time here, but it's important to do it. And long story short, I was able to change her to a different carrier, the same exact cover, 100% for $300 less what she was
Wow.
paying a month. And I've been going many times to her house because she became my friend. She gave me a necklace with a heart, and the other time she gave me a little angel because she said I am her angel because I was looking over her because she doesn't have kids, she never got married. I tell you, Paul, I think we need to make plans, what kind of organization we can make nonprofits and help all these people. And I am an
Yeah.
amazing cook. I can cook food on the weekends, like food, people they don't have anything to eat.
Yeah, I
I
think it's
love that.
amazing. I think it's amazing to have somebody like you that actually cares because Medicare, I mean, I speak perfect English and Medicare is confusing as hell to me, but to have, other people that it's going to be even more confusing that don't speak English, to
Mm.
have somebody in their corner like you is amazing. But, I do have a question because yes, Medicare is very confusing, like you mentioned before, but why? I mean, is it the system? Is it just how people explain it?
I think it's too many rules in Medicare, and the thing is you have to understand how those rules work, and that's why Medicare is very very strict about I have to pass the test every single year, with all the new rules, and I have to learn all of that. It's just too many ways to get to one thing. I feel like,
Right.
but I think, that's why it's very important to get together, with the broker, with the agent, because what I'm telling people is I eat all this information, all this rule. I eat it, I digest it, and when I digest it, I pass it to you.
But
Be-
Marilla, I gotta ask you this, like, how do they recognize, an average Medicare agent to a great one? Like, what's some things that we could look for?
Somebody who can like take the time for you, somebody who can listen your needs, and making sure they search for your doctors, explain to you what's the difference, what's the pros and cons to do that, and what all the options you have. Because like for me, some plans they're not paying commissions, and there are sometimes the zero premium. Some agents maybe they don't show you that because they're not going to make money. So
Yeah, that's a big thing right there, I would say. Yep.
for me, and let me tell you this story. Last year, I met this person at the farmers market, and she's from Italy, amazing person, and she has like kind of like saying my name. And one of the carriers, they have a zero premium plan last year of open enrollment, but because it was a PPO plan, was a really good plan for zero premium, but because everyone was signing with that plan in the middle of the open enrollment, they canceled the commission. They said, we're not going to pay commissions for this plan. It's going to be there, but we're not going to pay commissions. And this lady came to my table and she's like, I saw this plant and can you help me with this and what you recommend me? And I show everything to her. Long story short, I didn't make commissions last year with her, but I make a friend. This year she came back to me and say, Sylvia, I trust you because you were like willing to not make commission and sit with me and help me. And now I come back to you because I know you want to tell me the truth. You want to show me what's best for me and what can afford it. So it's just it's a lot, sometimes, but you just has to. I just see my dad and my mom and each senior I help because my mom doesn't know how to even read in Spanish. She never went to school because she grew up in the mountains in El Salvador. So I see my mom and my dad and every person, and I won't do anything what I won't do for my mom and my dad.
Yes. That's why people trust you and people want to deal with people they trust in. So that's why you are just like the most amazing Medicare agent. And, that's why people are feeling that off you because you're putting in all the time where a lot of people, they're not going to give you that time if they're not making money. And then you just showing them that you're a solution solver. You're not just here to, make money off of them. You're here to just here. This is your problem. It's not always the answer to come to me, but I will guide you in the right direction to go. And I see Kevin is shaking his head right there because that is all in Kevin's teachings, and that is some of the value that Kevin brings to the table, and he teaches us in the junk industry to always reestablish that value and show them what separates us from the rest. Kevin, I know you got something to say about after you hear Mirela
No,
talk.
I know, I always find, you can always tell when I'm excited about when somebody says something because it connects to things that I teach. And yes, you know, that's what, not being salesy, not being straight transactional with your clients. It's huge. You're helping them solve problems. They have a challenge and you help them give a solution. And I think that's amazing because that to them, that shows value to them. That establishes your value because you're not just there for the transaction, you're there to actually help them and help create a solution for catered specifically for them. So
Amen
I
to
love
that.
that.
And you talk to a lot of seniors daily, Mirela. What are some of the real challenges they face at home as they age?
I think what I see is very common is loneliness. They don't have a lot of seniors. They don't have anybody to look after them. Kids, they move from home. They live far away, and yeah, and also the technology. Is very hard for seniors. That's why I have to go a lot of houses because they don't have emails. I cannot do a Zoom call. They don't have sometimes like smartphones, so it's there's a lot of challenges, but I think one of the most is to don't understand how the system work and not have anyone to look after them. That's why when I talk to the senior, I always ask, do you have a daughter or son or someone who help you to make decisions, because they don't know how to make decisions. They don't know. And I really want to make sure the decision they're making, that's the right decisions, and try to search the medical history, what kind of doctors they see, what they need, if what they I do like a big research before I write a plan, because last year I told many people in the flea market, what you have right now, that's the best for the county. Do not move, do not do anything. If people calling you, ask you, offering you things, don't answer the phone because it's not true. You stay there. Maybe next year it's going to be something better. So I make like 150 potential leads of free market last year, and now I see a good plan here in Sonoma County. So now I'm reaching back and say, okay, now it's something good. You can add it on. And talking about Medicare, for example, now is so much distraction for 2026. Here in Sonoma County, we have three main carriers. I live in the service area, like United Healthcare, um, Aetna, and EMTA with Medicare Advantage plan with original Medicare. They live in the county, so all the seniors
So
they have.
how many are still left here?
It's going to be for 2026. It's going to be only two carriers besides Kaiser.
Now, does that affect the pricing and all that when, I guess with, a lot less options, I'm sure, you're not going to get as good prices, or how does that all factor in?
Yes or not, because prices are going up. Part B premium for next year is going to be around 206. This year is 185. That's what people get deduct from Social Security. But with the prices for the carriers, each carrier decide how they're going to use the money they get from Medicare and what kind of benefits. But actually, here in Sonoma County, we have an amazing plan with Imperial Medicare Advantage Plan. It's zero premium. It has $4,500 for dental. They give like $500 for glasses, and we have also alignment through Starter. So in Kaiser, I don't represent Kaiser because Kaiser is a private organization. They don't let any independent broker to work with them. But yeah, we have a good option for Sonoma County, and I've been helping a lot of people. Because all these people, Kevin and Paul, they are losing the Medicare Advantage plan. That's mean in January they will have the Medicare 80%, but they won't have cover for medications. And just imagine how many people they have cancer, they have diabetes, and they're not going to have medications. And maybe some people, they don't know they're going to lose the carriers, they sell letters, but seniors, they don't check mail. Sometimes they don't read it.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to find somebody trustworthy to deal with. So guys, if you guys know somebody that's over 65 and all, we have the person, an absolute expert here that actually cares and goes out of their way. And you can see how important it is for our seniors to find a trustworthy provider, because they could be taken advantage of, not even taken advantage of, they might just not be kept up to date with things that they need to keep up to date with. And you could see how it could really turn into a really bad situation if they're not doing the right things and getting all the plans that they need. So guys, reach out to Mirela. She could definitely help you guys out, guide you in the right place. Even if it's not using her services, she's a solution solver. She's going to point you in the right direction so you could get the right answers that you need and all.
And let me
I
ask
want
something.
to shift.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mirela, go. What
Let
were
me
you
ask
going to say?
something really quick. Also, when you ask me, what's the most challenges for seniors, yes, remember something. 80% of seniors, they don't know what supplement insurance they have. When you ask, what do you have? They say, I don't know. So, I say, take the wallet out and take the cards out. They want to see what you have. Sometimes they don't know even what they have because they don't understand how this supplementals works, and that's
Quick
really
question here, because I have a question in here that has the supplement, and it says advantage or supplement. Quick take.
okay. When you get your Medicare Part A and Part B, what I said in the beginning is 80% cover. Has Part A has a deductible, Part B has a deductible as well. So after you sign for Medicare A and B, um, Medicare give you two options to get your supplemental. Number one is Medicare Advantage Plan, which can be HMO or PPO, and those plans they are have a service area. That means you have to follow a network, and you pay as you go. Premiums can be from 0 to 100 or 80, and you pay as you go because you pay co-pays, you pay out-of-pocket maximum, and you need to have a referral to see a specialist. So it's a little bit restricted, but it's more affordable to add the supplemental. And most of the medical advantage plan, including medications, including dental, some including only cleanings, but and also including you can get glasses too. So medical advantage plan, you can get a whole package. What I explain to my seniors, I say, when you have Medicare A and B and you add Medicare Advantage, you buy the smoothie ready to go. All the ingredients that are inside.
Yep.
uh, Option two is the medical supplement, or can also called Medigap. Those plans, they go by letters, K, L, M, G, F, and the premiums, they're a little bit high, but if you're looking for flexibility, for freedom, and for stability, that's the plans. Because one, stability is because the plans, they don't leave the service areas, and you can see doctors anywhere you are. If you, for example, Paul, you say, I have clients, they live 6 months in Santa Rosa and 6 months in Oregon. So if you have Medicaid plan, you able to see a doctor in Oregon. The only thing you have to look for is if that doctor work with original Medicare. So, and what I say is the freedom is because, you don't need, most of the plans, you don't need to have a referral to go see a specialist. So, and you don't have to worry every year the things they're gonna change. And prices the cover is the same. Like if you have Plan G, for example, the cover is the same if you go with United, if you go with Aetna, if you go with any carrier. The only difference is the price. And that's why, as a broker, I can sit with the person and say, oh, you have this specific carrier. Let me search how much the other carrier charge. So, and that's the key, to know how to work the system.
Now I want to get into more personal questions with you. And I wanted to know, like, when you're not saving seniors from Medicare disasters, what do you do for fun?
Oh my, I am very adventurous person. I do mountain bike, backpacking, I do hikings, I do camping, and I love to cook.
You seem never to stop. You got a lot of energy. You're just like me. We're always on the move. We never could sit around.
I do. And it has so much energy that if I have caffeine at this time, I won't sleep. If I have sugar at this time, I won't sleep because I have enough energy, to keep going during the day. But I am a very adventure person. I love to cook and I love to hang out with my friends. Actually, my friend Beatrice is here watching me right now. And I have friends, we get together every month or every 2 months. When I turned 50, my life just changed like crazy, 100%, because being Latina, being mom, and like working 2 jobs and going to school and cooking, I didn't have time for myself. I can tell you, Kevin, for 20 years, I never went for a friend for a coffee.
Really?
Never. Massages, nothing. So I forget myself.
Well,
But
now
when I
you're gonna hit up Jen Lazar. You're gonna go get a massage. Go this weekend.
I did already. I went with Anna to get a facial, and
Oh my God, yeah. I
I
gotta get there next. I gotta try out Anna for sure.
yes. So now it's like I am a new person. I inventory myself, and I always say my Latinos friends, never is it's too late to start over, and you have to take care of yourself. And I am a Christian woman. I go to church on Saturdays. I'm Seventh-day Adventist, and I always said, God said to you, you have to love yourself first in order to love others. And you cannot give others what you don't have in you.
Yes.
You cannot. You just give what you have in your heart. When you see people like angry and angry with life, angry with everything. Sometimes it's easy to judge, why this person is like that. But always, God asking not judge, because you never know what that person's story is. Sometimes you have to just talk to the person and they change the attitude. Sometimes they just angry, but when you see somebody to smile, somebody said to me, okay, if I go talk to you, what's going to be the cost for you? I said, just give me a smile. That's it.
I like that.
Listen, I'm curious. You talk about how much you like to cook and everything else. What is a good El Salvadorian uh, food that you recommend?
Oh, for sure, our traditional food in El Salvador is pupusas, which I make, and I make really good pupusas. We need to get together, Paul and Kevin. I'm planning to please tour over and I will cook. But anyway,
Yeah.
there are few restaurants here, Kevin, in Santa Rosa, which I recommend. I really like the one by Santa Rosa Avenue. It's called Dos Culturas. It's a Mexican restaurant and Salvadorian restaurant. I really like the pupusas they make there, and they make yuca frita, and they make
Mm.
pastelitos, empanadas.
Oh,
It's traditional food from El Salvador.
yeah. I live in Georgia, and yeah, I lived in Miami for 25 years, so I absolutely love Cuban food.
Oh,
And every once in a while, me and my wife will travel like 45 minutes to an hour just to find Cuban food. It's just, it's just something different. I absolutely love Cuban food, but I also love Colombian food, Venezuelan food, and so like, I haven't had anything from El Salvador.
oh my goodness. So we should
So,
May have lunch together, and I can take you and
The
I would
next
love
time
that.
I'm that way.
yes.
So, well, why does helping seniors matter so much to you personally?
Because I feel like it's a very vulnerable community. And when you become a senior, what I said in the beginning is a life change. I have a person, is a friend of mine. Actually, I know her with, I was helping her, interpreting, when she was going to appointments. And she is 70 years old, Paul, and she doesn't want to retire because she said she doesn't know what she's going to do after. She
Wow.
said, I don't know what I'm going to do.
And I know a lot of people like that. They don't ever want to, they're always on the move, and they don't want to slow down at all. So God bless them too. I hope I'm like that as well.
Yeah. I always tell her, come on, I can show you what to do for fun when you retire. It's so much stuff to do, in life.
I love it. And what's the one message you want people watching to walk away with?
I think one message I want to say, don't feel you are alone. Don't feel like this is really confusion and you don't have choices for your health insurance with Medicare, even it's a lot of distraction and the county and other counties too. Don't feel like you don't have options. I always say to people, always is a plan B. Just let me be, to do GPS and show you the options you have. Nothing is signing in the rack. If you sign a plan right now for January 1st, there is another a special open enrollment for other people who have Medicare Advantage plan from January 1st to March 31st. And I always, I'm telling my clients right now, I will double check with you how are you at in February, if you're happy with your plan, if you find your doctors. Because something, I do, guys, like, I don't know, maybe when my business is growing really big, not maybe, it's going to be, um so I need to have the right people with me to care about it, because it's just, I'm helping so much the people, like for example, like my Spanish community, I make appointments for them. I make really good connection, with the new patient coordinator from different clinics, and I just take my laptop and stand next to her and I say, hey, make appointment for this person, next one. And then my people is taken care of, because it's, with the language and stuff, it's hard to talk. They don't know even what to say. They don't know what to what they have. So I help my clients like 100%, and I'm not, I say to them, you're not gonna see me just today. I am your agent for the whole life if you want, and you can call me. And and I'm having an amazing back office team. I am connecting with. So they help me so much to call the insurance. Then my client, they don't have to be for 2 hours deal with the insurance agents, companies. My back office team deal for that. Yeah, it's a full like personalized service.
And
Okay.
what goals do you have like for the next 5 years? What is your like major goal that you're chasing?
When I started this business, I was like, I want to just, have be a broker and building my book of business. But now with the need I see, I would like to have my own agency and have agents with me and expand, to help the community, and have like a, I don't know, you guys can give me ideas how I can put something together and be the advocate for the seniors.
I love
Nice.
it.
Like
Th-
it.
Yeah,
So
that's
do I.
definitely you got the passion and you got
Yeah.
the experience and the knowledge, and yeah, I would love to see that happen. That would be
More
amazing.
more importantly, you have purpose. So
Yes.
I
Completely.
love it. Where can people reach you if they want help or clarity or just someone who actually knows their stuff?
So they can call me my phone number. They can email me. My phone number is 707-280-9740. And I always, leave a message, and I return calls every day in the afternoon, even like at night or the next day in the morning. Because especially, when you are looking for your health insurance and stressed out, you don't sleep, thinking about it. So if somebody reach me, I try to reach back quickly, because let me tell you this really quick. I have an experience, with a senior Paul called me on the phone having a anxiety attack, couldn't breathe,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it's just in crying. And I was like, I say, God, give me, every day I say, God, give me the words, give me the heart to say the right thing and the right moment. And sometimes, what I learned, because I like to talk a lot, you guys notice that. But what I learned is to be a good listener,
Yes.
because sometimes that's what people need, just to be listened and not give you like solutions right away, just to listen and
Yeah.
the whole picture.
It
Yeah.
says a
And
lot too that they call you when they're going through the anxiety attack. You think they would call one of their family or their relatives, but they're so close and feel so attached and so trusting in you that they chose to call you. And I think that says a lot about your character, Mirela. And that's what I've seen so far of just knowing you.
Thank you, guys.
yeah.
And I love to know you guys and know Kevin. And, I remember, let me tell you this, Paul, the first time I saw you walking in BNI meeting, I saw you walking, with your, with your sunglasses, and you walk with like so confident. You on the place. I was like, who's this? I was like, who's the new guy in BNI? I was like, oh, I liked it. And remember, I say hi to you in the parking lot when you were driving your car, because
Yes.
it's just your personality. You're so much fun, and to see, the kind of heart you have. So helping the community, because you're not just scared about making money. I know you are too, Kevin, and I believe when you are transparent and your heart and your mind is not about just make sales. God bless that and give you more and give you like 3-4 times what you never imagined it. Because last year my book of business, for open enrollment, that was my first year. I wrote 30 plans, and guess what? This year I getting over 100 already.
Wow. Way to go. Setting records. I love it.
Yes.
Wow.
So, and God bless that, and I believe in
Yeah.
that. Yes, do what's right and come back to you, because, when I started, I said my business is not going to grow up like fast, because when you do things right, it takes time to make the foundation, to get the trust from people. And I said my business is not going to grow up. And, I have a friend from church who know me for 25 years. And you know what he said to me, Paul?
What's that?
He said to me when I got my license, Sylvia, you need to pray the Lord to help you to know how management money, because you want to make a lot of money in this industry. You have to pray the Lord how you're going to help other people with the money is going to come to your bank. He said that to me,
Yes.
and he said, you will see that. And, and I keep in those prayers, to just help people. It's so much need everywhere. When I go to my country, it's just everywhere. Here in America, see you helping people with the food bank and donating. And if somebody is have like a full garage and want to clean it out, that is my guy Paul. And we call, and not only like cleaning the garage, because you return it to the community, to give that money back to the food bank.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
Well,
it's
I
the
tell you
same
what.
same thing with
w-
you, Morella. It's whatever we put out into the universe is coming
Yeah.
back. It's reciprocating. And if you do
Yeah.
good by everybody and you truly care and want to truly help people, you're gonna be successful with that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
And when I started my journey, um, my goal was to be successful. But the closer to success I get, the more I'd rather be significant.
mm,
So, to have actual value to other people, because I've gotten the success, and it became more about being significant than anything else. And I see that happening for you. The more successful you get, the more you're going to want to help more people and have that value to people, and that empathy and care, it goes a long way.
I love that, Kevin. It's just, yeah, it is, to have people to remember who you are, and leave their footstep, and keep it in their
Yeah.
heart.
well, amen to that, guys. I want to thank you, Morella, for coming on. It was an amazing interview. Really got to know you. Love the energy. Keep it up. Definitely want to follow up on you and see that you go and you start your own business. And I want to see you go and have a bunch of agents under you. I know you could definitely pull that dream off, and I'm really want to see it all happen and all. So
Yeah.
thank you again for coming on tonight. Thank you to everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate the support, guys. Next week, we don't have anybody locked in as of yet, but what we are going to do is I was thinking of getting 3 or 4 people on, maybe a couple of people from the BNI chapter, a couple of the people from our junk industry. And I kind of want to just have like a topic or two and, kind of just talk with everybody and chop it up next week. So I'll keep everybody posted during the week. And thank you again for tuning in. And I will see everybody next week. And everybody, wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey.
Good night.
Yes.
All right, guys. Have a great night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Bye bye.